I'm not hitting on you. Here's some money, though. And what I
Yeah.
need you to do. Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should. You probably are. And that's why we like you. And you know what, folks? We're glad you joined us today. In fact, we're so glad we'll ding you. And if you want to get more dings, if you want to be on baller status, hit us up on patreon.com/chillfiltered. In the meantime, if you don't have the gall to do that, hit us up on Instagram, chat us up. And if you don't have the gall to do that,
tell your friends.
Here's a penny for your hat.
Yeah.
Like some sort
and
of...
if you haven't got a penny,
no, hit us up.
That's come up a few times.
Sure. Yeah, it has. But hit us up on Instagram. Talk to us. We'd love to talk to you. Cole, I've noticed we've gotten a few like YouTube comments, and I haven't replied to any. Yeah, I need
to be on that.
Yeah, I don't know. We just need. You could hit us up on YouTube in the comment section. I see.
I will work on getting back to those comments.
Dude, I am. Yeah, and the only reason I say this is because you need to, Cole, because y'all know I suck at communicating. I really do. I am in my own world, and I'm sorry. And it's hard.
Hey.
I read something, I reply in my head, and I go, I'll get to that later, and then I move on. So,
but you have a little bit more time lately, but you don't because now your daughters take up all your time.
I should have more time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. This summer, no, I'm excited for this summer because this summer is kind of like the twins are going to turn 5 at the end of the month on the 30th, and they're at a point like even right now, like today, like I guess let's just get into how am I doing? Okay. I'm feeling sick again, man. I can't catch a break here. Like,
hey, but better now than next week.
Seriously, yeah. Cole's like, when do you want to record? Thursday or Friday? I'm like, let's go Friday because I'm sick again, and that'll give me a little bit more time to recoup. But like, today was my last day on contract. And if you can look, if you're watching YouTube, you can see I am glistening. I feel feverish, but I came home. Like, I left work early. I'm like, I'm done. I just like I don't have. I attended all the meetings I had to attend. I wore a mask when I was there because I was like, I don't want to get anybody else sick. I don't want to ruin anyone else's summer. Came home though, and I was like, girls, daddy's. I tried to work out. It worked out for like, I started my workout. It was like 5 minutes. And I'm like, I can't. I'm burnt out. I can't do this. I was trying to be like, maybe, sometimes like if I just move, I'll feel better. That's what I thought it might be. But then I laid on the mats in my garage for about 20 minutes. And I was like, this workout is done. And so I was like, girls, Daddy, I just got to go lay down for a little bit. I took an hour nap, and they were fine without me. I was like, so I'm like, it's a new era. I might have time to actually do things. I say that, and I'm like, but I know I'm probably not going to answer any communications because I suck at it, and I'm sorry. So that's that.
That's cool. And when do you leave for
Cancun?
Yeah.
We just refer to it as not Virginia. So we're going to not Virginia. We leave.
I can't wait to leave for not Virginia.
Sorry. We the 10th. We leave the 10th, the morning of the 10th. Cool. So yeah, no, I went
a week from today.
Is it? Oh gosh, it is. Yeah. No, I went and got an official COVID test too because last night I took a home one. And Chelsea's like, I think I see a fate line. I'm sweating. I got to even wipe sweat off my head here.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't see it. But
that's what Heather said about mine. But I was like, there is zero line there.
Yeah. So I went and took an official one. And I realized the ladies at St. Luke's do a much gentler job on my nose than I do to myself. So I'm like, I always thought I like didn't do it aggressive enough. So
I'm like dying. I'm like,
so I figured out like there's a spot where if I do a test, there's a spot where it doesn't tickle, but it's like deep in my brain almost, where it doesn't tickle. I can barely feel it. It's like past the nose hairs, I think. I think that's the problem. Man. But
well, if only you grab those nose hairs with your handy dandy doodad.
I can't remember. Hey, folks, if you've got nose hairs like a grown man should, get one of these
Bush's Baked Beans branded.
Oh my god,
nose hair pluckers.
If we could like cross brand everything we rep, it would be the best smoker ever. You would never have to leave
the best chirp smoker ever.
A radius of 10 feet from your smoker, because you'd have nose hair pluckers, you'd have Bush's Baked Beans, you'd have chirp wheels, you'd have solo stoves. Oh man, you'd have Melinda's hot sauce all in reach. It'd be the best thing ever. Yeah.
But most of all, Bush's Baked Beans.
Seriously. And I don't have the bean cam up. I probably should have, but
next episode.
Gosh, I'll tell you, I should, because I do have time now. I have time now, and I should be able to set up
the bean.
I feel better. Then get the bean cam up and running.
No, that's cool.
Anyway,
So you're done school.
School's out, man.
School.
I don't got to give kids no more dirty looks.
Ever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
that's pretty funny. I like that. That was a very clever joke, what you just said there.
Oh, thanks, Cole. I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Alice Cooper joke.
So it's funny. So Mara, we've had some conditions on her being able to like have screens and do stuff.
Totally.
And she, like in February, was like, "Okay, you got to take care of these 3 things in school.
No more dirty looks,
and then you can have your screens and stuff back." And so she's like, "Okay, I'll do it," and didn't do it. And finally, like procrastination kicked in. Like I was like, "Okay, honey, you're full on procrastination mode. You haven't done anything," because it was like this is like the beginning of the month, and like took all of April, like most of May, the first 2 weeks of May, and she finally like contacted teachers about retaking tests and stuff. So she got them back. But this weekend, I don't think I sent you this picture. I meant to. But we're sitting on the couch and she's got her tablet out and she's watching YouTube. And I look over and guess what she's watching?
Chill Filtered Drink
She's
Along.
watching Chill Filtered Drink Along. But she goes, "Dad, what are you doing with your eyes? You keep looking left and right and left and right." I'm like,
it's theatrical, Amara.
I do get a little theatrical when you're doing history. I'll like make faces at myself. But I think it's not theatric so much as narcissism, where I'll look at myself. Then I look at Cole, then I look at me, then I look at Cole. I mean, like it's like having a mirror in the room. So
yeah,
if you guys wonder why my eyes dart around, I'm not on meth.
You're just looking at yourself.
I'm just narcissistic. So anyway, how you doing, man?
You know, I'm still running a high right now of
oh yeah.
So some people in the whiskey world know that Virginia started to do a very interesting way of releasing allocated bourbons and whiskeys to the public. Instead of like right when the store opens, they
crazy driving and road rage.
Oh, straight up. No, I've heard of stories where people almost got killed, like coming into the parking lot.
Oh man.
But so what happens is these stores get bottles and then they will like basically say to the store / the public, "Hey, this store is now going to like sell all of their allocated products right now until they sell out of all the allocated products." And so if you're first to get there after the announcement is made, then you're lucky. And that was basically me today. I show up and I'm the first person there. I basically was home after my work or drive home from work. And then before I even walked in the house, I get a notification. I'm like, "It's 15 minutes away. Let me just book it."
See ya.
And so I booked it down to Hopewell, Virginia. And I get there, I'm basically the first person there. And then one guy's like, "Do you guys got any Weller?" And they're like, "Let me check in the back. There's one more box back there with a few things." And they had like out in front, they had Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Blanton's, and even Very Old Barton, and even 2021 Larceny Barrel Proof, which I already had a bottle of.
Mm-hmm.
But they from the back, they like go back and they're like, "Well, all we found was this Michter's 10 Rye and an Elmer T. Lee." And I was thinking about getting the Elmer T. Lee, but the other guy that was up there with me was kind of eyeing it more than I was. I was like, "I'll take the Mich 10 Rye." I didn't, we even reviewed that around January, the month of January. I think we released it. And I didn't love Michter's 10 Rye, but it's a single barrel product, so they're always different. And I'll tell you this, I did love the first single barrel or Mich 10 Rye that I ever had. The most recent one was pretty good. So I'm excited. It's nice to have another one of those on my shelf at retail, especially. So that's what I got. And you're only allowed to get one allocated bottle total. So you can't buy one of each or anything like that, which is great.
That's
in my
when
opinion.
Like fluid mask mandates come in handy. Like you just got to run out to the car, throw on a pair of glasses and a mask and come back in. "Hello, I'm here for the other one."
Yeah.
I'm here for one.
Could have taken my shirt off and be like, "Yo."
So I've thought about that at times. Like, so Idaho, you can get, I think now they just do 2, but it used to be like you can get one of each allocated item. Like, and I thought of that where I'm like, I should just put in like a wig and a hat in my car with a different shirt.
Just glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. But I never did. I would just text somebody that I knew was nearby and be like, "Go to this liquor store right now, please. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Or I would pay younger people that, I remember I told you that? I was like,
I saw this younger guy. I was like,
I'm not hitting on you. Here's some money though. And what I need you to do.
Yeah. Get this I'm not against that. If I see someone who I think would be willing to do that and I have cash I'll do it. Like,
I
no
tipped her
doubt.
like $10 too.
Oh yeah, and I'll tip them too. Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny how it works. But I'm riding that high. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, it's nice to get one.
This past weekend we went to Disney World. Disney World was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And I got sick as well.
No.
But I tested 3 times, separate times, and no COVID, apparently. Heather got sick a little bit before we left, and she tested a few times and negative. So I assume she didn't get it from my dad / my mom from what we talked about last episode.
Your sister-in-law. No, your sister.
Yeah, my sister. Mm-hmm. Her sister-in-law, my wife's sister-in-law. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. And the funny thing was, I think Amanda, my other sister, got it, and Kate got it. Everyone seemed to get it, but Heather had already had the Omicron variant, so I assume she just got something else. But she really wasn't sick. She was like scratchy throat for like a day or less, and I got like sick. I actually had worse symptoms than COVID.
Yeah.
When I had COVID in January.
Dude, there's a lot of nasty colds going around.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I was like super sore and a runny nose, like constantly dripping nose. And I'm finally at the point where my nose is like, I can breathe through it, but it's a lot of like leftover phlegm and stuff like that.
Oh man. Listeners right now are like, God, what am I? These two it's like, you can take the snot queen. We're the snot queen.
Heather, I told Heather, I was like,
I got Miss Lippy.
I was like, you think it's a little, but it's not. And I was like, I got a bad snotty nose. And yeah, that's what I said. And it was sort of funny, but she didn't laugh. And
hey, cool.
Here we are. Huh?
Is your nose running?
Yeah.
You better go catch it. Oh man. Hey, have you started watching the new Stranger Things?
No, I'm not interested anymore.
What? Why?
I think it's cute. I think it's a cute show, and I don't think it's a good show. Like, I don't think it's a depthful show. I think it's cute more than anything else.
When's the last time you watched?
Season 2.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to watch season 3 to watch season 4.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing cute about season 4, man.
Oh,
season
really?
4 kicks it up 20 notches. Like, we're watching it with Amara. So like, what is it? Last fall, we watched all the Stranger Things, or last summer or something like that. And so like, all right, season 4, here we go. You know, and like you expect this kind of cute romp, like preteen thing. Like everyone's like, oh, it's a Demogorgon. Oh, that's scary. So we're watching this one. And it's the first, and I'm like, I'm getting a little scared here. Are you okay, Mom?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're okay? And like next morning, I quiz her. I'm like, just sleep. Okay, are you sleeping? It's. I tell you, man, it's
good to know. I mean, horror. I like most people know I cannot. I can give up on a show like that.
No, geez.
And
I can only do that on shows you recommend. Apparently,
what's that?
I can only do that on shows you recommend.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dark,
like Peaky Blinders and Dark.
Yeah, Peaky. Did someone say Peaky Blinders?
Ooh, foreshadowing.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyways, good. Anyway, oh my gosh, and that picture you sent us of back in that little teal, or you posted on Instagram.
Oh my goodness,
the little teal swimsuit, and her eyes are just beautiful. Oh, so cute.
So I think this is saying something about both of our daughters. That I see half the time, I see one of my nieces a little bit in Beck, but the other half I see Juniper actually.
Oh,
I think she has similar eyes to Juniper.
They have similar shaped face.
Too, yeah, that too. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's great because Juniper is a cute little girl, and so is Finley too. For sure. But they're very different, Finley and Juniper.
The funny thing about Finley is we have no idea where she gets her looks from. Like we know what Junie's probably gonna look like Chelsea. Finley, we're like,
I think I can see a little bit of you in June or in Finley. But that's a good thing.
She's emotional,
you have
like
very
me
nice
for sure.
Eyes and a kind smile.
I'm a very pretty boy.
Yeah,
as I've never been called.
What did you say last episode? I think I did it on the. You're like, oh, just cute me or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, Disney was crazy. It's different when you go to Disney as a father. Versus if you just go, like, because Heather always took me and we'd be like, oh, I got to hit up this ride and this ride and this ride.
Oh,
and I knew that going in. But I also felt like there's a lot to think about. Like, and it's like more than you think about. You're like, oh, I gotta protect my daughter.
There's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, and I gotta like go back for naps and stuff like that, and just gotta like keep her in mind at every moment, which is different, you know. So, and I was zero relaxed. In fact, I was like, I had like tension in my shoulders the whole weekend, and
it's tricky.
Yeah, so
it was funny. The last time we went to Disneyland, the twins were, I think, like 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah,
and Amara was what 10 years old, and the twins were sick, and so like when you have twins, it's like both parents have to take care of a twin, right?
Yeah.
And so we're taking like we kind of tag team, try to get out as much as we could with nap time, and so then we went with my brother, both my brothers-in-law and their families. And Amara had the best trip ever because it was just us passing her between the in-laws. Like one family would go home for the nap and she'd go out with the other family, and that family would come back for a nap. And like she was in the park like,
oh, that's great,
the whole day. It was pretty great. She loved it. But yeah, when you got kids, it's totally different. Yeah. You just, gosh, it's nap time. We got to schedule the nap.
Yeah.
Did you guys stay like on site?
We were on the resort. Yep.
That's nice.
It wasn't too hard to like drive home after.
That's
relaxing.
the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So like when the twins were, luckily we were like, we were like on, like, it was just like, there was an entrance from our hotel into the park. So it was like,
nice.
It's like, as soon as one of the kids was done, it's like, we're just going to go right back.
Yeah.
Back to the hotel. And it was easy. But it was like, if you were off site, gosh, it'd be tricky.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine. When I was a kid, the only time I went without Heather was when I was a kid at about 13. And we stayed in like Kissimmee, which is like nearby. And it was like, yeah, you got to pack up everyone, put them in the car, get to the parking lot, and then get like a little bus or like a little trolley thing from the parking lot to the entrance of the park. And it's just, there's a lot. And it's, I think, you know, they're killing it in terms of the parks because they're like so many, like someone told me, or not even told me, I was on like an elevator and someone was like, yeah, apparently all the parks, like resorts are completely booked this weekend. And it was Memorial Day weekend. But like they make a lot of money off of those parks.
Oh my gosh. No kidding.
Yeah. So
well, the first time we went, Mara was like 7 and we stayed at a hotel that was maybe like a 15-minute walk. And Chelsea ended up getting real sick that trip. Man, we're talking a lot of sickness here. This is
get down with the sickness.
Oh man. But she was old enough where it was like she only needed to take a nap because as an adult, I wanted to take a nap, and I was like, we're just hot and tired. Let's just go back. And that wasn't too bad at that age because it was just a quick walk, and then we're back to the hotel. But like when they're little, being on site is key, I think.
Yeah.
Just that in and out, like, access.
Yeah.
So, but and it sounds like Heather said Beck didn't really enjoy any rides.
She we did some of the kiddie kind of hold your baby in your lap rides, and she was struggling. Like we did one, and she was like crying.
Space Mountain, Dad.
What's that? Yeah, next time we'll just amp
this is for babies.
Yeah. But she wasn't loving it, but still it was fun. And we like took a bunch of pictures with princesses. Like we got Belle and Aurora and what's the other one? Jasmine. We got Jasmine. So cute pictures with Beck and the princesses. And it was just, I mean, like it's not all about the rides at Disney World. So there's a lot of other things. But it's good.
It's magical.
Yeah. Right. And then this weekend, the only thing I'm looking forward to, or the big thing I'm looking forward to, is we're doing our first swim lesson with Beck.
Oh, nice.
So, one of those baby swim lessons. So should be fun.
That's great.
I'll let you know
good
how it goes.
Deal. Good. Yeah, for sure.
But on this episode, we're drinking Silverback
whiskey
Alpha Series bottled and bond corn whiskey. So that's what we're drinking today. And we've done Silverback a few times, but before I talk about the whiskey, do you want to say anything before we send it to break?
Crayons are for babies.
And jingly keys are for babies too, but not for Batman. So let's send it to break, and we'll be back. We'll talk Silverback and Christine Riggleman and all those fun things. And shout out to Bryce Marita. But before we do any of that stuff, here we go to break. And we are back from break. It was a good break.
What a beautiful walk.
Chill break. A nice walk. A nice almost summer walk because it is early June.
Mm-hmm.
But today, like I said, we are drinking Silverback Blackback Sour Mash Corn Whiskey of their Alpha series. It's bottled in bond. And of course, it's 100 proof. And it's got some other things to it. But before I get to what makes this whiskey special, we'll talk a little bit about Silverback. Now, we've had 2 episodes in which we drank Silverback already. We had, I believe it was episode 99, just about 106 episodes ago. We drank the Blackback bourbon, the straight bourbon. And then I actually wasn't able to figure out. I forgot to write it down, but we also drank the Christine Riggleman Reserve, which was
I actually remember those 2 things.
Nice. Yeah, because you were part of both of them.
Blackback was really good and nice for a smaller distillery.
Silverback was like junipery, like the most gin-like bourbon we've ever had.
I remember. Yep. And Riggleman was okay.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Riggleman was the
Riggleman was junipery.
Was the cedary.
Well, Blackback was a good bourbon.
Yeah.
And Riggleman was all right.
High respect for it. Especially that it's a special release one. But I forget what the cost was. I actually wrote it down. No, it's $125 per bottle.
125 for the Christine Riggleman.
But
but
it's
at least that one wasn't.
And I think they're getting better. I would assume a distillery like that is getting better.
I like the standard enough where if it's special and you're one of those people that likes to buy special things and you get excited about getting a special bourbon, it's worth a shot, I think.
Yeah. Real quick shout out to Bryce Morita, B-side, because Bryce is a baller. Wait for it. I had to shoot my last shot.
What's your entry buzz there?
So speaking of Bryce Morita, I have a two-part entry buzz. One is the Lehigh Valley Bourbon Drinkers barrel pick that I was finishing up the last of that. But before I was drinking the Lehigh Valley Bourbon Drinkers, did I say Levi? Lehigh.
You did, yeah. You got it right the first time, though.
Yeah, that's good. Lehigh Valley. Yeah, so before I drank that, I was drinking a pour that was given to me from Miles Ferguson, another one of our Patreon supporters. And that was the Lafroig, not the Lafroig. No, Lafroig Lore. So,
Lore was delicious.
Yeah, and the LVBD one was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, shout out to that guy. And Bryce, shout out to his 2 sons, because he has 2 sons and they're both amazing.
Confirmed.
And I'm sure going to be fantastic little Moritas. And it's going to be a fun episode today, because here's the thing about Silverback is that we've done 2 episodes on them already, and there's not a lot of details that we haven't done already.
Christine,
so I'm going to cover some of those details. And I do think, to be honest, I do think it's important to cover as much as we can for small distilleries, because our listeners might really want to try these cool, not really known distilleries out there. And we're happy to, fill in that history so that people can try out these new distilleries, because I do believe in small business, and I do believe that we should be supporting small business. And Silverback is growing, and I like that. So
to add to that, though, you can get your Virginia's release.
Yeah.
Super hard to get commemorative, or I don't know, whatever. Like you could hunt all day for Blanton's, just drink Blanton's because you drove around. But you know what? There's a lot of other really good whiskey out there.
Yeah, true.
So,
and heck, This might be the one today. This might be the best bourbon we've ever, or the best corn whiskey we've ever had.
I think on top of that too, whiskey is what you make it. There's the memory to it too, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know what? Like grab a bottle from some smaller distillery and make a memory. Yeah, go out to the desert, dig some holes.
Pour that whiskey in that hole and drink from that hole.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you'll say to yourself, what whiskey would you choose comes up of what whiskey tastes best in a desert dug-in hole? You'll know what it is.
Yep. So, Silverback Distillery started about 7 or 8 years ago by Christine Riggleman herself. They have
Hooch Mama.
The thing is, what'd you say?
Hooch Mama.
You got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, sometimes I remember things.
And what does she refer to her daughter as? Baby Hooch.
Baby. Oh, baby.
Yeah, Baby Hooch, which is Lauren Riggleman. But anyway, she started it, and they have 2 locations on the East Coast. There's one in Afton, Virginia, not far at all from where I live. In fact, a week or so ago, I was like right down the road from them. A week and a half ago. No, was it a week ago? Perhaps. No, it was 2 weeks from today. Anyway, the Blue Ridge Mountains is right where that is. And then the other one's in East Stroudsburg, which is in the Pocono Mountains. So big mountain towns, or at least Appalachian mountain towns. And East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. So anyway, she was inspired by a trip to Ben Nevis Distillery, which was the only distillery she hit up while she was in Scotland. And she was like, I want to start a distillery. And so she did. And she was inspired. And basically her and Lauren, Baby Hooch, got it going. And they named it after her husband's nickname, which was Silverback, because he has graying hair and a few other things. But Lauren, Baby Hooch.
A few other things were hairy.
Yeah, no. He had Silverback, if you know what I'm saying. No, I don't know. I forget what the other things were. I wrote them down. Silver butt. Lauren is actually a professor of distillation. And she went to Heriot-Watt University for brewing and distilling after going to UVA undergrad. Go Who's. My wife is a Who. But they have a good few products. One is called Berengue Vodka, which is like the Latin word, I believe, for gorilla. Strange Monkey Gin. They have a Blackback Rye Whiskey, a Blackback Honey Rye Whiskey, a Blackback Sour Mash Whiskey, a Blackback Alpha Series, which is apparently their barrel proof products, but that doesn't jive with what we're drinking today, which is not a barrel proof product, even though it is a Alpha Series product. They have their barrel aged gin. They have the bourbon, Blackback bourbon, and Blackback Moonshine 151 proof. And then last of all, Christine Riggleman Reserve. One of the funny things I appreciate about Christine Riggleman, who I've talked to a little bit, is that she knows, or she's got some like, I guess I don't want to sound rude, but she is one of, or her daughter Lauren is the youngest female master distiller, and I think that's pretty cool. But it's also like, if you're working in a distillery and you're appointed to be a master distiller, it's kind of self-appointed. I don't know. That's my thing. And then the Christine Riggleman Reserve.
You are a math-minded man.
I am. True.
And qualifiers kind of
are in math. Mm-hmm. But then even the Christine Riggleman Reserve is the only whiskey named after a female master distiller.
That's fine.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. No. And that's the thing. Yeah.
Like,
I'm not against it. I don't
struggle
like
with self-esteem at times. And you know what? Gosh darn it. I'm the best looking man at the address I live at wearing a Seahawks hat right now.
No,
I'm the best.
No doubt. I think you could be a model out of that subset of people.
Yes. I am the best looking man.
You could be a billionaire in terms of how good looking you are out of that subset of people.
Well, I think I could be the richest man in that subset.
No doubt.
No. But I'm fine. I'm cool with that. I'm fine. Like if you got these qualifiers, that's great. I love qualifiers.
Apparently, there's only one Cole Sebald in the world, so far as Google knows.
There's like one other Robert Dudlow, and he's a farmer in California. And I've always thought like he's like Southern California or something like that. I'm like, someday I got to reach out to this guy.
You should, and you should probably pull shout out to Bryce Morita again, because Bryce is probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking of the one with Jet Li, where you basically got to kill yourself in every universe and then absorb their power, basically. But don't do that, Robby.
That's the one's premise, huh?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's a very Highlander thing.
What's Highlander? Like Highland whiskey?
You've never seen the Highlander?
No. You've told me about him once. Or the show.
I mean, I don't think you need to watch the Highlander, but I think like movie-wise, you kind of have to watch it. Like
it's a movie, it's not a show.
There was a show, I'm sure. I think there was a show, but the Highlander was pretty synonymous with culture.
Basically, there's 125 universes in the like multiverse, and then Jet Li has himself in every universe, and he starts to be able to multi-universe travel, and then the bad Jet Li goes to a bunch of universes and kills himself, like 120 of himself. And then they like the inter-universal police basically are like getting on him. And then there's good Jet Li in one of the universes who's one of the last left, but he too has absorbed the power of all the dead Jet Lis in all the other universes. And it's just pure, just like the best scene is when he fights himself. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Which it goes back into self-esteem. Like you only really got to fight your own demons, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it all comes full circle.
And just qualify yourself.
You should be very proud of who you are, and I really mean that. Like
more
there's
than that,
a lot of good things going on at Silverback Distillery.
You are the best there is of who you are right now in the entire universe.
You ever read? Do you ever watch the?
I've read before.
Okay, cool. No, that's enough said. Cool. No, the actual documentary of Mr. Rogers.
Would you be my? It's like with LeVar Burton.
It's not the one with Tom Hanks. It's like actual documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary. I've not watched, read or watched. Documentary.
Watched, but I don't know why I said read.
I have not, no, but I've listened to the LeVar Burton narrated, which is amazing.
Nice
biography of.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, and he tells these kids, he's like, it's you I like. It's not your fancy chair of this kid who has got a nice wheelchair. It's not your hair, it's you I like. And I'm like,
he's pretty phenomenal man.
He is,
like really is. Like he came from a very wealthy family.
Did he? I didn't know that.
He did a very wealthy family, and
he was like a Presbyterian pastor or something for a little bit.
He might have been, but he was like, it's like, I just want to impact children and I want to make sure everyone's taken care of. Like so he's a pretty cool dude.
He's a cool dude. And I think some of the founding moments of this podcast talk about how much me and Adam used to like Mr. Rogers. So anyway,
okay,
what we're drinking today?
Here. Jeez.
yeah, we're going all over. Silverback Blackback Sour Mash Corn Whiskey Alpha Series, 100% proof, bottled and bond, 4 years old, minimum. So it is the minimum. 4 years needs to be the minimum of a bottled and bond product, and 100 proof needs to be the proof of a bottled and bond product. From what I've read, this is the first bottled and bond product that Silverback put out. At these days, they also have a
these days.
These nuts.
Hey.
Oh, you didn't mean that?
Oh, no.
But they also do a bourbon. They do a bottled and bond bourbon these days, and they've been around long enough to be able to pull off a product like that. But there is this is from the first batch of the Alpha Series corn whiskey. So the last thing I got to say is that it's funny that their first bottled and bond product is a corn whiskey. And most people will put out like a bourbon or a rye. But they obviously lost, or like you would expect them to have a bourbon, but they obviously missed some of the requirements to be a bourbon. So one of those requirements might have been charred oak barrels. It might have been corn content. Even though corn content is not a problem, if you call it corn whiskey, it's probably going to be more than half corn. But there might have been some flavoring aspects to it. There might have, which is not allowed in bourbon. And what else? It could have been. My guess is that it had to do with the charred oak barrels, that they maybe didn't use new charred oak containers. Yeah, because like if you're gonna make a bottled and bond, there's got to be something that throws it off from being a bourbon, especially for corn whiskey. That's all I'm gonna say. 100 proof, like I said. Bottle, or to get a bottle, I didn't find that on the website. Forgot to ask Bryce, but I'm gonna guess it's around $30 to $50 for this bottle.
Yeah,
I feel like I did a terrible job based on the history that I had prior episodes.
The last time we got contact to her,
yes,
Mama herself, and she was great getting back to us.
Is like we've asked, like I don't know what more she could say. I mean, I could have asked about the bottle in general,
bottle.
But we've gotten a lot from her, and even both last episodes we talked to Hooch Mama, and so I will
say, as far as reaching out to people. Christine Riggleman and Fawn Weaver. Like, we didn't talk to Fawn Weaver, but Fawn Weaver, well, we did. Like, we messaged Fawn, and she messaged us with
that's right,
like contact information for like the
that's right.
Yeah, so I want to say, female distillers,
man, killing it.
They're better than me for sure. They actually talked back to you.
Yeah,
yeah. So good on them.
Yep.
Are we ready?
So let's drink this stuff. I got my 2 professional Wonders of Whiskey glasses, and I'm ready to pour this corn whiskey.
So when I was getting ready to pour, and it annoys me when the little plastic top and the sample bottle sticks in there. And then something happened. Listen, a mild pop.
A cork pop.
Yeah. Is it a plastic pop?
Yeah, a plastic cork pop.
Oh man.
But you know, to have what did we? Mellow corn's probably 80 proof, right?
I'd say it's somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So having a bottled and bond corn whiskey is something special. I'll tell you that. I have high hopes. I'm not gonna come in thinking this is gonna be some subpar whiskey. I think this is gonna be good.
No, I will say in general, corn whiskey is something like you gotta like, or you don't. Either you like it or you don't. But there's not a lot in between.
So I'm getting notes of like caramel corn.
Good. Yep. There's a lot of sweetness. I think it's pretty vapory right off the bat.
A little bit.
The more you inhale and kind of get,
but not like
it's not
vodka
as much.
Vapory.
No, I'm getting like it's definitely corn. It's a corn whiskey for sure. Get a little bit of frosted flakes is what I'm getting. So
we're both sick. They're both recovering.
Did we talk about that yet?
No.
Okay, we should probably go into another 15 minutes.
How are you feeling sick, Robby?
No. I'm a little feverish. No. Okay.
Yeah. So don't take our word completely for this one. This is an episode where we're both, what's the word? Compromised.
Yes.
So try it yourself. Buy some
Russians.
Silverback.
Oh, compromised
whiskey.
Physically, yes. Health-wise,
yes.
No, I'm not a spy.
No, I'm not. Never been.
I'm getting a little bit of corn, like cornflakes. It's a sweet. It's a light sweetness. It's not as corn syrupy, right? Like sometimes a corn whiskey is like super corn syrupy, very sweet, full on like corn note. This is just like kind of more. It's a little bit lighter, a little vapory up front, but then it kind of, the more you sniff it, get those vapors out of your bulbous glass hole. I'm getting a light sweetness, so I'm gonna go for it.
So I just took a sip. It's good. It's sweet. I think that the frosted flakes or whatever you were saying shows up a lot on the palate. I think that's actually front or forward kind of note there, front and center kind of note. But it's good. It's good. There's nothing about it that I'm like, this is bad. But there's nothing about it that's like, this is incredible. Which is actually a good medium. I would
think
say,
about it like this though. Like,
yeah.
What corn whiskey have you had that's as good as this?
That's a good question.
Like, compared to corn whiskey. Now, I sip it, hold it when I'm holding it in my mouth. it's kind of got like I mentioned, I don't know if this is something I'm just getting lately. This might be my new latex, but it's got like a tanginess to it. It's just
nice.
it's pleasant in the mouth, but it's got a little bit of something there.
Yeah.
And then when I swallow it, I'm getting a slight bit of bitterness. Then it turns into a very warm, and I don't know what like a corn pop almost. Like
I
it's
get
kind of
behind
like
that.
a little nuttier but
Yeah,
sweet,
nutty's
like
a good word.
corn. So I don't know. Like this as far as corn whiskeys go, it is really good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it brings out the flavor of a like it brings out the strength of a corn whiskey because one, it's 100 proof. Two, it's 4 years age, which can definitely develop some good flavor. I gotta just pour a little more. No, I don't need to, but I'm gonna drop some water in it. But I don't think this will be ruined by water, to be honest.
Dude,
it
second sip, bitterness isn't there as much. This is like a good corn, like a corn pop, man.
Yeah,
might be my new favorite corn whiskey.
Yeah,
I like this a lot. Like, now that being said, we all know my love for Platte Valley corn whiskey.
that's true.
This though, like if I was just to sip to enjoy, not for a memory, not to go out to a desert, dig a hole, pour some whiskey in and drink it out of the hole.
Yeah.
This is a friggin' good corn whiskey. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's full though. It's like a full. It's not.
It's got something going on. Like it's not light. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
which is what you normally get from a corn whiskey.
It's full body. Like corn whiskey, you kind of get more like an ethanol, like moonshiny product. But this is not that. I like it.
With some water. I haven't really gave some notes on the nose, but the palate, it definitely brings out a little more of that corn pops, which is a good note. I like corn pops, like with a little milk in it, not like just straight throwing corn pops in your mouth without milking them down.
Nose wise, there it was killed. Like there was like the sweetness wasn't there. Like nose, I wasn't getting it with water. Feels a little hotter with the water in it on the palate. Like it definitely can tell this is bonded. Like you can tell it's a higher proof. It's a little bit of
a change in flavor that I don't love.
There is. I think it's just it goes a little more that earthy range. Which I don't know if it's
bad. It's just not better.
Yeah,
to me. But it might be.
That being said, we've had a lot of things go earthy on us lately. So I don't know. Maybe that's our collective latex note. It's not bad with water. I don't think it's better if
I'm not going to drink it with water from now on.
Yeah, I do enjoy it neat though so far. Neat's got it beat.
Yeah,
neat's got it beat. It's got it beat. It's got it beat. Yeah, neat's got it beat. All right.
Giving it the old spin, Jay, with some ice.
I spit the grenade out with the pen. Oh man!
Another round.
Poof! Fire in the hole. All right, man.
It's weirdly cold.
Yeah, it did get cold.
You never know where these things are gonna go.
You never know.
But usually they're cold. Looking back at the earth, like with the reminiscent taste in my mouth from the water pour, I did not like the water pour.
Yeah.
It definitely turned.
I don't think it was bad.
I didn't like it.
And that's okay. I think neat was much better though. I was surprised. Comparing it to like your favorite whiskey, it's probably not that. I think we're all conditioned more towards like bourbons or scotches or ryes. But as far as a corn whiskey goes, this is so far I'm interested to see what the ice does. But so far compared to regular corn, like it's pretty dang good. It's not super.
The nose is kind of absent a little bit with ice. A little bit of a fruity note, kind of a general apple, peach, pear kind of note.
I can. You say peach pear. I can kind of see that. I'm not really getting that, but
just kind of a bright fruit.
It's kind of it. I think peach pear is like a good way to put it, where it's kind of like it goes that direction a little bit. Where I think of like drinking like a peach pear, like I don't know, maybe it's power suggestion, but like you say peach pear, I can see where it goes that way with just the flavor profile in general. I don't know if it's necessarily peach pear, but I think of like a blended juice where you kind of get some fruitiness to it. There's definitely a sweetness there. It's enjoyable with ice, I'll tell you that much.
It's better than with water so far.
But it's got like, I think that whatever nutty kind of note like lingers on the back end there a long time.
I'm getting
no bitterness. I'm not getting any bitterness.
A lot more
either.
oak with the ice pour, personally.
Yeah, there's a little bit more oak there. And it's not like, I think it's a faint oak though. It's not over oaked.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I like this. This is I don't even know what a step down from a Hubba what is. But like I'm pleasantly surprised by this.
What? No, it's still
Hubba who?
Hubba how?
Hubba where? Hubba why?
Hubba
and sometimes why?
Hubba I.
EOU.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised. Like it's
yeah, I prefer it.
This is probably the best
water.
Sipping corn whiskey I've ever had. Like it's really good for a corn whiskey.
Yeah, it's got some flavor to it.
I am much more sold on this than you are. I can tell that much.
I think I have a rating though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a rating?
I can get there. Why don't you go first?
So here's my rating. It's a 7.9. Not quite 8, but respectable. I still feel like this corn bottled and bond whiskey is something special. Especially for a bottle, or especially for a corn whiskey, but also for a small distillery. I think they're doing something great here. They make their own stuff. They're not sourcing. And to be able to make a corn whiskey bottled and bond is something special, something great, something impressive. So I think I don't love it, but I don't not like it. Would I buy a bottle? Probably not. But I think it's worth trying. So that's all I got to say. 7.9.
So if I was to rate it,
I thought you were about to say, if I was deranged, what would you do if you were deranged, Robbie? That should be our what whiskey would you choose this week. If you were deranged, what whiskey would you drink?
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I'd lick it off an oak tree. If as far as corn whiskeys go, if I was just rating it as corn whiskeys, I'm going 9.8. Like it, as far as a corn whiskey goes, this is really good.
Yeah,
really. Like a corn whiskey with no sentimental value. But as far as like just as a whiskey, there's a little bit of like it gets close to Hubba to What, where it's like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on. Like the age statement, being bottled and bond. Like I don't know. I mean, you're the expert, Cole. I don't know of any other corn whiskeys that kind of get in this realm.
Nothing I can think of for that range.
But I think I'm gonna go straight 8. Like I really like this. I would sip this. I like it a lot. Yeah. So I think like we were talking to Ben Klepsik a while ago just about using like a mellow corn or something. I would prefer using this in like
what was that? It was for a honey, or what is it? A bee.
Wasp.
Crap. What was the Gold Rush? Gold Rush.
What?
A Gold Rush cocktail, which is it's basically a whiskey sour with without what do you call it? Without egg white and with honey instead of sugar syrup.
Yeah. No, I think this would be great in a cocktail. I like it a lot. So this is good. Yeah. Good on you. Hoocha mama.
Christine.
Hooch mama.
So I hope they listen. I hope they tell all their friends.
And
I hope they're proud of what they're doing, because actually this is, for a small distillery, this is prime stuff. So
for a corn whiskey, this is superb.
Yeah. So yep, I guess that settles it for the tasting and the rating. Let's send it over to one of our favorite segments of this darn tootin' show we like to call Whiskey World News.
And we're back. This is part of the show where we read an article, we talk about it. We didn't write it. We're just going to talk about it. We're going to read it. Here we go. And this comes from, like, I feel like we get Whiskey Wash a lot and Gear Patrol a lot. This one comes from the Gear Patrol. It's written by Tyler Chin, and it's titled A New Bushmills Whiskey Made for Fans of Peaky Blinders.
Nice.
The Peaky Blinders gang. Yeah, wait a minute. Did we already mention Peaky Blinders?
Foreshadowing.
Full circle. May not be real, but that hasn't stopped the show's fictional company, Shelby Company Limited, from breaking through the screen to collaborate with legendary Irish whiskey brand Bushmills on a whiskey that celebrates the popular show. Ahead of Peaky Blinders' final season, or airing on Netflix in the U.S. on June 10th, Bushmills has released Bushmills Prohibition Recipe Irish Whiskey. The whiskey release follows the announcement earlier this year that Bushmills would be the official whiskey brand of Peaky Blinders, which puts an end to the other Peaky Blinders whiskey brand, I am sure. Yeah, that was me talking. I wrote that, and I read. I didn't read it. I thought that, which had featured vintage-style bottles of Bushmills as a prop. Whiskey plays a huge role in the show, so it makes sense for Bushmills to want to release a whiskey for fans to sip as the final season makes it the U.S. premiere. The bottle itself is a limited edition offering, is a recreation of 1920 style Bushmills bottle featuring a blue tinted glass and a visible cork lid. Leader of the Peaky Blinders, Tommy Shelby, otherwise known as the actor Killian, is it Killian Cole? Cillian Murphy has his headshot featured prominently on the label, making this bottle feel like it was stolen off the Peaky Blinders set. The 92 proof aged whiskey is a blend of 92 proof whiskey is a blend of ex-bourbon barrel aged whiskeys that were aged between 3 to 5 years as a non-chill filtered. Hey, that's not the name of the podcast. As a weightier mouthfeel that also packs extra flavor. Some prominent notes are, we're not going to say because what if we drink it later and we don't want to taint our minds here.
We haven't ever had Bushmills on the podcast yet.
Oh, golly, well, we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the bottle is priced at $46. Cole, any thoughts?
I like this. I am intrigued by this. You know, we had that one episode on Peaky Blinders whiskey, and it was like not like associated with the show, but this one seems to be associated with the show, which I dig.
The
other one was kind of like a
nod
trademark issue or something like that. Yeah.
And I had the Working Dead
Irish whiskey.
The Working?
What's that?
Zombies? I have the Working Dead zombies. That's a knockoff.
Exactly.
The zombies working, not walking.
Yeah. Zombies work. But I am intrigued to try this one. Listeners, if you come across it, let us know. I like Bushmills. Bushmills can make some really good Irish products.
I don't know if I've ever had Bushmills.
You never had Bushmills. Bushmills can be good.
I don't know if I have. I don't think so.
I had a Bushmills. I forget what the variety was, but it was like it had a date to it. It was like 17 something or something like that, and it was very good. And Bushmills is a great Irish company. I love Peaky Blinders, and I would love to try this whiskey. So that's all I got to say. And watch Peaky Blinders and tell me you like it.
I think what I need to do is just start from the beginning because I used to be into it and then I just didn't watch it.
Hey, skip Cancun, come to Virginia. We'll watch it all together. Easy.
No one's going to Virginia.
I know.
I'm sorry. No, I need to load up and rewatch it because I remember liking it. And I remember watching it. It made me want to drink copious amounts of whiskey, smoke a lot.
Copious amounts of booze.
And backhand people who don't respect me.
And slice them with your peaky hat.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. I am a sucker for crossovers, right?
Yeah. Like Allen Iverson crossovers.
Oh, man.
I'm a sucker.
Who? Oh, man. Now you got... never mind. I was about to tangent and try
ankle-breaking crossovers.
Gosh. The killer crossover. Who had the killer crossover?
Probably Allen Iverson.
Oh, it was the Duke guy. What is his name? Oh.
Grayson Allen?
No one likes Grayson Allen.
I know, right?
What Grant Hill. Grant Hill with the killer crossover. Man.
Who?
Grant Hill. Early 90s.
Nice.
I think he was a teammate of Christian Laettner and the Duke.
Nice.
90.
Did he make it to the NBA?
Grant Hill for sure did. He played for Orlando. And the journeyman after that. He was also in the Olympics.
The journeyman?
Part of the dream team. I believe he was part of the dream team. The killer crossover. And I'm hoping it's Grant Hill. I'm pretty sure it's Grant Hill. Someone will correct me.
I don't know anything about basketball. Except for Grayson Allen. And I hate that guy.
Gosh.
He's like the equivalent of Conor McGregor.
He's
not Conor Gilbert.
I don't know. I don't have time to follow I pick and choose what I'm able to follow.
Yeah.
But I remember when he was at Duke, he had such a punchable face. Like you just wanted to like.
Oh my goodness! Like he would like trip people.
Oh, he was. Punk. Well, he was. I think part of it too, though. Like if he was at some like blue collared school, he might be like the hero.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
but he's like you're at this elitist.
He's a Duke. Like they win like every third year for the NCAA tournament.
And then they go, let's go watch the polo match. Man. And you think to yourself, I ain't never been to a polo match.
Yeah.
And you want to punch Grayson Allen in the face.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about people you want to punch in the face? Well, I pull up last week's What Whiskey You Choose.
Okay. Next person I want to punch in the face is, what's his name? That guy from, I don't think he's that funny. Seth Rogen.
Really? You don't like Seth Rogen?
I just don't think he's that funny. I think he's like, it's like in what's it called?
I think
Family Guy, where he's like, he talks about The Godfather and he's like, it just assumes itself. That's what I think about Seth Rogen, is like, he just assumes himself. Like he assumes he's funny.
As an actor, I don't think he's that funny. I think as a writer.
Okay, I haven't seen his writing.
He writes.
So maybe I'm
he
wrong.
writes pretty well. Didn't he do? He did like Superbad. Like he wrote Superbad, right?
Oh,
so he wrote something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think as a writer he might be funny. Although the American Pickle I thought was kind of funny.
I actually did appreciate American Pickle to an extent.
Yeah, I don't think he's great.
Yeah, but he assumes himself.
But if he's I think he's a lot of people's cup of tea.
Okay.
All right, so last week we said, what whiskey are you giving to your enemy? Which might be Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And Cole went with Black Maple Hill Oregon Rye. I went with Long Branch.
I think you won.
Because I was mad at Cole for saying your mama jokes during our last drink along.
Yeah.
And I did win 53% to 47%.
How much? 53, 47?
53 to 40. So it was pretty close.
That was close.
Yep. Just a couple write-ins. And two of them, Brian Rapp and
what a baller.
518, Miles Ferguson, both ballers. Both went with Floki. All right.
Nice.
And also Bryce Marina went with Floki.
Nice.
Right? Like everyone's like, oh, you're my enemy.
Smoked.
Here's a little bit of sheep poo.
Yeah.
Which I can respect.
Yeah.
And then Ben Klepsig, Mad Town Marketer, something flavored that peanut butter one, maybe.
Yeah. The what did they call it again?
If you listen, Butternut. Its name's Butternut. Say its name. No, that's
crap.
Geez Louise. Screwball.
Screwball, yeah.
Screwball, yeah. But then again, like if you're listening to this podcast and you gave your enemy, like if you're listening to this podcast and you're to this point of the podcast, after we've talked about everything we've talked about, your certainly name is not Steve or Mitzelprick.
Yeah.
If you've listened this long and you give your enemy Screwball, they're probably like, this is the best whiskey I've ever had.
Yeah.
Right? Because you are a whiskey
so
connoisseur on some level. It's so peanut buttery. I want to see Cole butt chug this. Like that's what your enemy would say.
Into that. So, hop on patreon.com/chillfiltered.
That was last week's. This week, do you remember what we were going to say this week?
We were going to say Peaky Blinders. What makes you want to...
What show
Go ahead.
Makes you want to drink? A TV show, movie? What TV show or movie is like you watch it and you think to yourself, I got to have a drink in my hand. I got to be sipping some whiskey while I watch this. So what show are you watching and what does that show make you want to drink? Which whiskey does it make you want to drink? Cool. What do you think?
So if we're talking about shows that like make us want to drink, I'm going to say Lost.
Okay.
Because that show was the worst ending that could ever happen to any type of show that had a great beginning. And it makes me want to drink out of sadness rather than joy or inspiration. So what would I drink while watching Lost?
So, you took this a different direction than I did.
Yeah.
Because like when originally we were talking about Peaky Blinders, it made me think like, okay, I'm watching Peaky Blinders. They're drinking this. That makes me want to drink that. But you took it in a way like I have to drink to soothe myself.
Yeah.
To cope.
Because Lost, I didn't watch TV for 4 or 5 years after Lost ended.
Since like incident,
not a show, not a thing.
Okay.
Because I just had trust issues, and when I have trust issues, I drink Weller Special Reserve. Because you can't not trust that kind of bottle.
Do you have trust issues?
Yeah.
If so, I suggest you become a liquor head for Wellers.
Yep, exactly. So hop on that train, and you'll never let go.
All right.
And don't watch Lost, or you'll become an alcoholic.
When I think of shows that make me want to drink, especially if I'm thinking like a particular brand of whiskey, I think of Goodfellas.
Nice.
And I
think Ray Liotta.
Oh, that was sad, wasn't it?
That was sad. Maybe you should
in B-Movie with Ray Liotta. He was in B-Movie. A lot of good stuff. But what scotch do they drink on Goodfellas, Cole? Do you know?
Cuddy Sark.
Yeah, Cuddy Shark. Is it Sark or Shark?
I think it's Sark.
Yeah. Sark? Cuddy Sark? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I don't know, but they always that's the Cuddy and soda. Or they just say order it neat, and that's what I think. So
I like that. It's a good answer.
Goodfellas makes me drink Cuddy. Last time when we were in Vegas, that's what I kept looking forward to every time we stopped somewhere, and I never saw it.
Where was
Cuddy and water?
Goodfellas based, like New York?
I think it was like New Jersey, New York.
That's cool.
Something like that. Yeah, I watched Casino this week, which is a great one too.
I gotta see that. It's got homeboy.
De Niro?
No, who's the
Pesci?
Pesci. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Joe Pesci.
Sharon Stone.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I gotta check.
I hear the book's better.
Okay. You know, we were talking about what's his name, Chuck Palahniuk the other day. And I think I mentioned
the other day, was like 4 months ago. But
yeah. But Chuck Palahniuk was like, the movie was better than my book that I wrote, and I was like, dang,
nice.
And I read the book, and it was good.
Okay, so I'm going back. It's like the corn whiskey we drink today. There's like a toasted note to it, like we kind of like what you get out of like the toasted barrels.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little toasty to it.
Yeah.
A little toasty, like earthy, nutty.
Yeah. Nutty notes.
Anyway, I like this corn whiskey.
So, Robby,
you're right.
It is time to retire this episode. And I have 2 whiskeys that I want to put against each other.
Perfect.
And let me know if you disagree. But I'm between 2 smaller distilleries. One we put on last week, which was Triple Sun, straight bourbon out of Pennsylvania.
Good.
And then the other one is a Colorado rye, which is called Abbott and Wallace Colorado Straight Rye. So I'm going to put it between those 2 this week. Some smaller distilleries, not one that many people have heard of, but still worth trying.
Perfect.
But that'll be the battle this week.
I like it.
Abbott and Wallace versus Triple Sun Straight Bourbon. So
I'm
keep an eye out, peeps.
Perfect.
You
know what, Cole?
What?
I hope that you don't feel sick anymore.
Robby, I hope that you don't feel sick anymore. But Cole, most of all, listeners,
I hope we don't talk about being sick anymore, evermore.
Yeah, never again will we talk about being sick. But most of all, listeners, I hope that our love of chill-filtered spirits and non-chill filtered spirits lifted your chill filtered spirits. Could have taken my shirt off and be like, yo.